Hey, welcome to the Chuck and Al Show, the space where real life meets real conversation. I'm here with my friend and pastor, and together we're exploring the questions that don't always fit neatly in a Sunday sermon or in a soundbite. Every week, we dig into the stuff that we're all wrestling with: purpose, doubt, hope, relationships, and the chaos in a modern world, and what it actually looks like to live with meaning in a world that never slows down. No perfect answers, no pressure to pretend, just two friends thinking out loud and inviting you into the conversation. This is the Chuck and Al Show. Let's get into it.
I get my coffee. You look stressed.
It is a busy time. Busy time.
I'm just take a sip of my coffee.
I don't know if I'm stressed or if
I said you look stressed. Tense, maybe. Your forehead, you have a little crow's feet kind of squinting your eyes. Are you okay?
I'm excited.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a weird look for excitement. I love it. Boys, he's excited.
It's not like, oh, fun excitement. It's like
Life.
Oh, we can get better excited.
Okay.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can look at the world and look at problems. And
So how do you feel after last week pondering convictions versus your authentic self, or you were like, oh, I've got to go think about this?
I don't know if I even thought about it.
Really? That busy?
Yeah, I can be that honest, right? It's my podcast.
It's your podcast.
No, I don't know if I had many brain cells at the end of last week to do thinking. It's kind of been survival.
You're doing good, though. Your
Yeah.
clothes are ironed. You look kind of spiffy.
Yeah, I'm
Just came from work, I guess. You look like you just trolled
just
in
came from work and get to fly out to another opportunity for improvement. I'm not going to call it a problem.
Where are you flying?
Back to Austin.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
While you're there, do you go into any of the clubs for music and stuff to listen? Some of the best music in the world there.
I am a work kind of guy.
Got to change. You need to take me. You think you could get me in, like you could kind of as a travel expense, a buddy?
I'd probably have to give up my seat.
It's okay. I'll sit in the back. I can sit in the very back of the plane.
Yeah, well.
Do you know I'm so old that I flew when they used to have a smoking section on a plane?
That's impressive.
A smoking section. So that if you could, it was just a line like seat 32A and then seat 33 was smoking.
Now, I'm old enough to remember smoking in restaurants. You'd ask for a non-smoking hotel room.
You had to sit in the back. They put you by the bathroom in the very back. And if you were a peer,
yeah,
you would have to walk through the smoking section. And sometimes people who did not smoke but wanted to smoke but could not sit in the smoking section would walk back to the smoking section and just stand.
Just get a little whiff, a little hit.
Times have changed.
Yeah, it has changed.
But I would love to offer myself to be your travel partner. And
well, listen, here's what I do.
Say, hey, you're working too hard. Take an extra day. Let's breathe. Let's go find some good food in Austin, Texas, some good music.
The problem is if I'm going, it's not – we haven't resolved problems.
Oh, okay.
You know, if it was just going smooth, then, you know.
You're going to go to kind of crack the whip.
No, that's not my style. It's not my style. I'm going to
oil the bolts.
Oil the bolts. Yeah, that's
Shine
better. I like that.
Debug the grill.
Work on mending relationships and keeping adults from acting like children.
Sounds like you're a pastor almost.
It feels that way some days. It's just it seems like I can never wrap my head around why 50-year-old grown men. I'm not going to say I can't figure out why they have an ego. We all have an ego. Like, that's just a game. But this is my observation the last 2 weeks. Okay. I've been doing a lot of this type of work, which is just kind of going out and listening, a lot of listening. It's amazing what happens when you listen. I mean, honestly, most conflict gets resolved when you just listen. I think one of the things that I struggle with, because a lot of this comes natural to me, I don't have to work at people, is like, why does everybody think they need to be right? Like, if you just go in and say, I'm wrong, even if you're not wrong, like, all the ammunition's off the table. There's no more yell. Like, what does someone respond to like that, right? You know, I've done that 3 or 4 times, and it makes the guys that work under me, you know, kind of frustrated because they want to be right. And I'm like, hey, man, we're not winning that game. The game of winning who's right is a terrible game to play. You will lose at some point.
I think I learned to pastor that way. In my young years, I was right.
Yeah.
Here's what the Bible says. Believe the Bible, and then you get older and go, well, there's people that have the same scripture that say the same thing and don't believe the same way.
Yeah.
So, you know, I always say, hey, this is what I think. It's my opinion, but I'm strong enough on it that I'll share it with you. And
Yeah.
So yeah, I think everybody,
So it's maybe just part of
right.
my midlife crisis at 28 that I'm
Welcome
just
to
like,
working with people.
hey, guys, this isn't
People.
about being right.
You inherit everybody's upbringing. You inherit their philosophies. You inherit their
problems.
Problems and parenting styles. You inherit their habits and addictions, and you pay them a paycheck, and you hope that they can manage all of that while they try to pull off what you're expecting them to do.
Yeah.
And that's the trouble, is that whether HR or we put people through some program, or at the end of the day, most people default back to their comfort. Most people default to this is the way I've always done it. And so they'll grit their teeth while they're at work, but that inner self is struggling. Just get it done, go home, be the real me. And so, yeah, it's everybody, never changes, always going to be that way.
And as the leader, I actually want to help those things, right? I want to help you get to a place where you're fighting less and less of those things. But some people really like to fight.
True. That's why, to me, the win of any business, I believe, is culture.
Yeah.
I believe the win is not product alone. It's not bottom dollar, although maybe in a business world, the bottom dollar,
Don't tell Keith that.
Right. Like for him, that's
his
the
game.
accountant. That's his bottom dollar. But at the end of the day, his bottom dollar decreases when his culture decreases.
Yeah.
You lose trust. People don't want to work together. The product suffers. And so I always believe culture is the number one way to begin to build relationship, which causes the environment to change, to be fun. People want to work better, harder, and they want to be, even though they may, hey, this is what we're rowing, right? Just don't row backwards. Just row.
Yep.
But not everybody is.
Don't stop.
Here's the culture of the boat we're in. So I lean more toward culture is the greatest win, even for a church. It's the greatest win is the culture.
It's how it feels when you walk in the door. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. And so it's just it's very interesting for me, interesting and challenging at the same time, where as the young person, I'm the one toting the line of, hey, we can't act like that.
Well, thank God you're doing it.
Well, it's not to pat my own back. I just wish I didn't have to.
Then there would be no need for leaders. There would be no need for visionaries. There would be no,
Yeah.
I mean, the reality is we're all human. We're all on a journey. And the sad thing is when a 50-year-old acts like an 18-year-old, and the great thing is when an 18-year-old acts like a mature 30-year-old. So I think that's the beauty of that. Just
Spectrum.
It's the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is kind of the buzzword today. People are on the spectrum, the tism, whatever.
Yeah.
But the reality is that's every human's on a spectrum of how we manage ourselves. And you hope you get the good ones that manage themselves well, and they can do that before the crisis, before they do something stupid at work, before they get fired, before they lose their marriage. They can self-adjust. Most don't do that well. It's usually a crisis.
Yep.
The doctor saying if you don't do something, you're going to die. The wife saying if you don't change, I'm leaving, or whatever. Because we're motivated by crisis. So you going in going, okay, we're going to have a hard conversation. Hopefully the crisis motivates, but we know it doesn't.
Yep.
Because the guy that the doctor says your blood pressure's high, he doesn't change. Just throw me a pill, let me keep doing what I do. So self-reflection that enables me to become a better human is a skill set. And you have to really work hard to
see yourself clearly.
Yeah. I noticed you were rolling on your phone when you walked in, like you had a lot to talk about. What's in that week of...
I actually didn't write anything down. I should have, but I mean, we could talk about...
what's on your brain place? Because you open up every week this way with, hey, I just want to sit down with my friend and talk about things we can't usually talk about in a Sunday soundbite.
Yeah.
What do you want to chat about?
Well, first off, I think we should start by saying RIP to maybe God.
Chuck Norris.
He went to meet Jesus and maybe told Jesus he was Jesus. I've heard a lot of jokes.
You know why I think he went?
Why?
I think Peter had been up there so long at the pearly gates. He's like, dude, I've been here for thousands of years. Can I just go on vacation? And they're like, who could guard the gate? And they're like, Chuck.
Yeah.
And so death came down to get him and was like, look.
So here's the question.
Here's my thinking. The sickle, death sickle. He shows up Chuck Norris's door and like, could you just help me? I'm supposed to come get you, and I'm really scared. Could you just come with me, please? And I think Chuck was like, I'll help you.
Okay. It's
And
kind of,
I think he could be up there at the pearly gates. Wouldn't that be cool?
that would be cool.
Chuck is up there in his little outfit and not Peter.
So here's another
He's
theory.
on a vacation.
Here's another theory.
Mm-hmm.
Did he just go over the ice wall?
I think so.
Yeah.
You'll never know. He might not be dead.
Right.
He might just wanted a break.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Chuck. He was good. Did you follow him? Did you like him? Did you see his stuff?
Yeah, as a kid, I had in elementary school, I had notebooks
Yeah.
and folders that had his jokes on them.
Oh, there you go.
know, so although I'm young, I don't know anyone who doesn't know who Chuck Norris
I
is.
knew him before he was a meme.
Yeah.
I knew him when he was fighting Bruce Lee and Kareem.
Yeah, I didn't really know him as a movie star as much as I knew him as the jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Did you ever own a Total Gym?
a what?
A Total Gym. That's what he sold. You don't need. How
An
could you
all-in-one?
know Chuck Norris and not know a Total Gym?
I think I got one of those for Christmas one year. It was
There you
pretty
go.
disappointing. Well, I got the family gift of the all-in-one workout machine.
That's it.
Yeah, and I was dead convinced it was a workbench. I've been asking for a workbench. This was in young high school, and there's this big 5 foot by 3 foot box, and my parents kept saying it's not a workbench, and I'm like, they're lying.
They're lying.
They're lying. It's what
They
else could
crushed
it
you.
be?
Yeah.
And I opened it, and it was just like, oh.
Chuck Norris.
And they're like,
And
well, we
probably
all need it. And I'm like, so I got the family gift. Yeah, you sure did.
Your dad was probably so proud that he was supporting Chuck Norris and he crushed you at the same time.
Yeah, I think it was a Gold's Gym. So is that?
It's not the same.
It's
No,
not
if it's
the
a
same.
Gold's Gym, that's probably why you're bitter.
Mm.
If it was true Chuck Norris,
It probably would have been cool.
you would have thought, God, I got
Yeah.
Chuck Norris.
So I've got a lot of things on my mind. There's leadership things, there's life things, there's people things, there's Chuck Norris things, the ice wall, just more and more evidence of how we're lied to every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's a war going on. I saw a theory the other day. I want to get your thoughts on this. Dinosaurs were never real, that we have just made up dinosaurs
Mhm.
to cover up the fact that there were giants and dragons
Mhm.
on Earth, and we just call them dinosaurs as like a
Mhm.
so that we can't admit that giants are real. What's your thoughts on that?
I have never been to the Smithsonian Institute to see if the T-Rex bones are real.
I've
But-
heard they find pieces and then they recreate out of the
that's
pieces.
exactly what I've heard. That
Yeah.
they've never found a full.
A full, yeah.
And that it was basically we found a bone or two, and then we created what we thought. And
Yeah.
then my belief, you might lose a lot of followers here.
Okay.
Can I say it?
Or we'll get some, one or the other.
My belief is there's never been T-Rex and Brontosaurus Rex. All of the bones they found, they fabricate and make up because what I believe
Yeah.
is I believe there were literal dragons.
So you believe in dragons?
I do.
Okay.
I believe in.
Do you think they still exist outside the wall?
I don't know.
Do you believe in the wall? I guess we could lose some followers over that. Do we believe in the ice wall?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I
but
do too.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I believe.
And there are maps that show the land of dragons outside of the ice
Here's
wall.
what we can discover in all ancient art that is inside caves,
and-
wherever,
yeah.
just anywhere we could go. There is a great series called Ancient. Yeah, I'll look it up and tell you next week. It's Ancient Apocalypse. I think
On
it's-
Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Incredible.
about.
All right,
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
it. It's incredible. The guy goes back to all these ancient civilizations. Well, the interesting thing about that, not biblical, just interesting, because I don't think he's doing it biblically.
I don't think so either.
He goes back and there's all these drawings, and what they do show is every drawing, giants and dragons.
Yeah.
Every drawing. Every cave that has some kind of thing of people that are either worshiping gods bigger than them. We would say giants, gods, Greek gods. We call it Greek mythology.
Yeah.
I don't really think it was mythological. I think,
it was real?
I think there were real gods.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Psalm 82 says God sits in the council of the gods and rules the gods. And that's why I think God says, you shall have no other gods before you. I am
So
the God.
obviously there are other gods that exist.
Yes.
Okay.
That he created.
Sure.
That they were to rule the oceans. They were
So
to
were they here before Adam and Eve or
Yes.
after? Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
And they were to rule and reign.
Yeah.
And they were to govern the ocean, govern the sky, govern
and these
the
are
sun.
different than fallen angels,
Yes.
different than Nephilim, different.
Yes.
Like this is before all that.
Yes.
Okay.
And they fell. Some of them fell. And so I don't think Greek mythology is really mythological. I think it's true. And you can read some ancient literature that seemingly says such, you know,
Yeah.
that there were something out there different. I don't think all the pyramids, I don't think everything that's so strategically placed around the world, if you go look at all of these ancient religious relics like the pyramids or Machu Picchu, I think it's pretty much assumed that I don't know if humans really came up with this. Like it was some kind of download from a species or
we reverted back from a much more advanced place in society.
Could be true as well. Like yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I kind of fall on Adam and Eve were highly advanced. They were not Neanderthals.
You think they were giant?
I don't know. But I think they were highly advanced because they were in the image of God. So I don't think they were stupid. I think they had full knowledge. I think the only thing they did not have was the knowledge of good and evil. Everything else they possessed. And I don't think it's the Neanderthal message we've been given that they were running around half naked trying to figure out how to rub two sticks to make fire. I think the early human was brilliantly designed, and we have declined. That's what I would say. And somewhere in the last 100 years,
in the name of advancement.
Somewhere in the last 100 years, I think there's been this escalation of knowledge again, and this, I think, spiritual as well, a spiritual advancement supernaturally of what's taking place in AI and all. I don't necessarily believe artificial intelligence was just some smart guy going, I got an idea. I think there was some kind of spiritual thing behind it, motivating it. Yeah. I do. I believe there was some type of otherly world motivation moving it forward. And how much we've progressed in the last, we'll just say 30 years, how much technological
just in the
advances.
Last 15.
Yeah, for sure. So I kind of land that way. I mean, I'm always going to fight for giants and dragons over dinosaurs and cavemen.
Yeah.
I just, I think there is a story that's been given in school, and this is it.
Why do we want to believe in dinosaurs?
And there's no proof of it really, other than, hey, go look at this. I thought one of the funny things is a scientist, and I have no clue if he's true. I just was watching it, and he seemed legit.
Yeah.
And everybody that was following him, he's a legit guy. He's not some random, guy in a basement. But he was just saying that most of the fossils they found that they say are dinosaur fossils, the few that are real are much more related to reptile bird species, not Brontosaurus and Stegosaurus and all of these.
More towards the dragon idea.
Right.
Yeah.
And perhaps it's true, T-Rex bones that, easily a dragon, because I see dragons on all the ancient art and the things, even they
couldn't have just been making it up.
Even the book of Job that most people will read, even don't know God. You can read Job, and, you can definitely read about, the fire-breathing behemoth, and so
just kind of adds up.
I guess I would just ask people, why is it so much easier to believe?
Well, I think that's
just what you were told in a science book.
But I think that's kind of the awakening that's happening, is that the system has created us to believe what it wants us to believe.
Here's what I'll say to that: 25 years ago, or more, I always made the joke of, and there was a movie that came out called JFK. I always said, Oswald didn't kill JFK. I was a conspiracy, and I always believed in giants, and
it's in the Bible.
And so I have my reasonings for where all of Cain's kids came, or all of Cain's people that they were afraid of, like studying the Bible. And so I always landed on, I believe dragons existed. I believe there were gods that existed. I believe, whether aliens or demons or they're angels or whatever they are, I've always believed in that. Like there's something that could be out there, other beings that aren't human, right?
Yeah.
Like
Bigfoot.
Just other beings that are human.
Anything.
That could have high knowledge. And
do you believe in reptilians?
I could be. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. But I guess what I mean by all of that is, 25 years ago, you would have looked at Mark and go, he is an idiot.
He's nuts.
And today, it's like I could show you YouTube videos of how many thousands of people believe in dragons and giants and reptilians and ice walls and flat Earth, and we didn't go to the moon. And whereas it used to be this small little pocket of people who were conspiracy, stupid, weird, ignorant people, Arkansas trailer trash, right?
Yep. The tinfoil hat.
Yeah. And now it's like there is a wave of knowledge that's propagating through the world where people go, I think
COVID played a lot of
Well, especially when you sit home and all you can do is deep dive videos, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the scary thing now, I told this to Rob, but not scary, but interesting is 5 years ago, I would YouTube videos and go, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And just study and research. And now it's like I'm skeptical because I'm like, I don't know if that's AI or not. AI is so good now.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know. I watched the video the other day.
And it's only getting better.
I know. I watched the video the other day and I'm like, oh my God. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Is that real? Like,
yeah.
So
then you have to ask AI if it's AI.
Yeah.
You know, hey Grok, is this AI?
So, you know, I follow I would highly encourage people, if you like that, to follow a podcast called Moonshots.
Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All they talk about is artificial intelligence and what's happening in the real time because they're all in it. They're all moving it forward and they all talk usually 2 podcasts a week, I think. It makes my head hurt, but man, it's so cool to watch where the world is heading in reality. But at the same time, reality of artificial intelligence is just killing it with the potential. And at the same time, we're all now questioning reality.
Well,
like,
I mean,
is that real?
It's
was
just
that
like,
real? Was that really Trump that said that? Was that really?
Take the war, for example, right? If you went back just 3 or 4 years ago, I would have believed anything that was posted of like, this is how we're doing in the war. And now
you
I'm
have
sitting
no
there
clue.
thinking, I'm like, man, I don't know. They could be lying to us.
Yeah, you
completely.
have no clue.
I'm not there.
Yeah.
You know,
you have no clue anymore unless you've got the
it could all be fake for all
you would
I know.
need the technology that could read all the codes of everything to know if it was generated by artificial
Yeah.
and that's possible.
But
right?
but I don't even just mean could it be AI or real, or could they be lying to us or not?
Oh,
right?
sure, they're lying to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a given.
Yeah.
That not everything you see is going to be factual. It's going to move an agenda. Everything you see in the news is moving an agenda. And we're all typically doing that. Every one of us are moving an agenda. Are you okay? You're yawning. And you got to fly to Austin?
I'm going to sleep on the plane.
Okay.
Yeah.
First class, mid business, back smoking section.
First class.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Caleb.
That's awesome. Thanks, Caleb.
Yeah.
So I just saw you yawn, and I'm like, bless his heart. When do you fly out?
6 o'clock.
Okay.
So
first I thought I'm really boring.
No.
But then I'm like, it's your podcast.
No, started at
bless his heart. He's got a kid at home.
He's
got
5.
a dog at home and a wife. You started at 5 a.m. You've
Yep.
already been to what side? North Atlanta already, right?
To Midtown.
Midtown already.
Yep. Spent my morning there, back to the office and into this. And then I basically have to go straight to the airport if I think I'm going to make my 6 o'clock flight.
So the point to this is I think it's just, I would almost think it's intentional that we're all questioning everything now. I think that's where it's at.
Do you think that's a human design or is that a spiritual thing?
Spiritual.
Yeah.
I think to question everything. It was the initial thing of Adam and Eve. Did God really say?
Questions.
Yeah. And so I think the reality now is nothing is real. We've said that before, right?
We have, yeah.
Everything, if nothing is true, everything is true, whatever. I think the same is true in the world. It's everybody becomes a skeptic.
Yep.
Everybody's like, that's cool, but what if? And now it's like, well, there could be aliens. Well, I think you're stupid.
Oh, we now have an alien.gov
Right.
website. I don't know if you saw that got
did.
released. So they're real now.
I think it's all intentional. Like it's
a lot of noise.
You can literally put brilliant people in a room for flat Earth or globe Earth and just let them debate it out, and both have their theories, and they both leaving thinking the other is stupid, but both camps are growing.
Right.
It's just that's the way our world is. So you factor into that God. You know, everybody's kind of more open to God now. Like, okay, maybe he's there, and then
maybe they're open to some of these what was once hard to believe could be spiritual.
Yeah.
I think that's the
right.
That's the kind of the window that I've seen a lot of people take of like, oh
Sure.
well, if this is real, maybe that's real.
Because God is doing miracle things outside of the church, and it's making people wake up.
Yeah.
I believe that the church kind of defaulted a little bit in America of not doing what we should have done, which is we should be out here, the light of the world. You should see Christ in me. And I think we just got lazy. We got, introverted to ourselves. I don't really go. I just stay home and watch YouTube while I think God just puts his finger on people and go, these people will move my kingdom. And now you see.
And they're people no one expected.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And their lives are really changing. Like there's revival. I don't know if I like that word, but there's hearts awakening to God and to really seeing God and seeking after God and hungry more for that which is, I think it's a couple of weeks ago, I said that which is purposeful and meaningful, right? Like, show me something purposeful and meaningful and I'll buy into it. And so I think the church has to answer, have we lost purpose and have we lost meaning? And some guy sent me this morning a Instagram video from the church here, and it was two pastors talking, and he said, he said, pastors, he said, okay, we're glad you prayed. You're supposed to. We're glad you studied. You're supposed to. We're glad you really bought this incredible content to talk about. You're supposed to do that, right? But do you smell like sheep? Mm. Do you spend time with people when it's done? Do you sit with people? Do you get their stories?
Do you do your job and go home?
Yeah. And I think that's been my passion is,
it's what makes you unique.
And
it seems like there's fewer and fewer people like you in that way.
So yesterday I spent some time with some friends and went to have coffee, and then we had lunch. And
in fact, I don't know how you do it.
We spent about 6 hours together.
Wow.
And from coffee to lunch, because the coffee was an hour or two, but it ended up going till lunch. And I was like, I'm kind of hungry. And I said, do y'all want to go to lunch? And they're like, yeah. And so they said, well, don't you have to go back to work? I said, well, I kind of just cleared my calendar so I could spend time with you. And so we went to lunch. And sitting at lunch, well, they drove separately. Just it was about a mile away to the lunch, and I drove, and we kind of meet on the sidewalk. And the wife said, she said, this is strange. She said, like, you cleared your calendar to talk to us, and we don't go to your church. We don't tithe to your church. We don't belong to your church. You don't want anything out of us. As a matter of fact, you just sat in the coffee shop and told us we should go to a different church than yours.
Wow.
And she said, who does that? And I said to her, I said, I do, because I just think people need to know, A, you're loved. Jesus loves you. And that's what I do. I just love people. And I don't love you because you are going to come to Believers, or I look at you as some potential new member that could tithe, that could get on a team and lead a group. You're a human. And I value your humanity more than the vision that I have for my church.
So what makes you say to somebody, hey, I think you should go to a different church? Like, what are the things to you that are like, oh, yeah, that's not what you're going to find here? Or is it like, I think you're better off?
I think you read people.
Yeah.
And so if I'm sitting down with a fat guy and he sits down with me and he says, look, I'm struggling. I have high blood pressure. My sugar's high. I might be diabetic. The doc says I have to do something. And then I say, I got an idea. Here's what you're going to do. I want you to go to Dunkin' Donuts every morning. I want you to sit there. I just have to be smart to go, he doesn't need Dunkin'. He needs to go to the gym.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to people spiritually, I know who I am. I know what I can bring to the table. You want to come here, great. And so, but talking to them, I'm listening to their heart. We're talking about their past. We're talking about things they've been dealing with. And I said, look, why don't you just go back home? Their spiritual home.
Yeah.
I said, just go back home to your spiritual home. That's where you belong. That's where you belong. Go back. You don't owe me anything. Go back there. So it's just, my job is to help people navigate their journey with Christ, not build my church.
Yeah.
If my church, I don't like that.
The church.
If Believers Church is healthy, we're going to grow.
Yep.
Period. Healthy things grow. Now, by growth, some people may leave because they feel I did my.
Not everybody likes the growth. Yeah.
And maybe not everybody, they're on a journey and it's ended here. And so they want to go somewhere else. So I tell people, tell me and I'll pray for you. Like, you owe me nothing.
Yeah.
I just want you to, I always tell people that, just go somewhere and let your life make a difference, right?
Yeah.
I talked to a lady that has been here since my dad started the church in 1990. She's been here almost that long. So they've been here since 92, I think they came.
34 years.
34 years.
Yeah.
She was here the other day working in the cafe with Robin and some other ladies, and I was doing some work. And I said, you know what? Two of them were here. One of them's mother came to the very first service my dad did.
Wow.
She's still in the church.
Okay.
All right, so she's been here from day one. And these two ladies were there, and I was out on the patio, and I said, I just thank both of you for coming here. I said, because you've been here for 34, 36 years. You've heard every story.
Seen a lot of iteration.
I said, you have heard every story. My dad tells the same story. I just wish I'd get my dollar back, right?
Yep.
And she started laughing, and she goes, you know what? Every time he tells it, I cry. And I said, well, thank you. I said, as a matter of fact, when my dad tells that story, I already know what he's going to say. And I tear up going, God, I want that kind of faith, right? I've heard the stories over. She said, well, I'll tell you the good thing. Your mom, talking about my mom, she spoke a few weeks ago and she said, my daughter was here. Her daughter still goes here and her grandchildren now go here.
Wow.
She said, my daughter was watching your mom. And as soon as your mom started speaking, my daughter started crying, because your mother has such an influence in her life, and yet we know every story she told. And then I made the comment. I said, well, somebody told me not long ago that, I've already heard almost every one of Mark's stories. He tells the same stories over. And I said to her, and she goes, well, of course you do. She said, that's the beauty of being together a long time, is you know each other's stories. And she said, but the funny thing is, every time you tell the story and I go, I know it, there's this other little nuance that God pulls out.
That you learn from it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I said, now that is the issue, that most people don't have that testimony because we don't stay long enough. We don't stay long enough to go,
we heard it once, okay, good.
I already know Mark's wife died. He said it probably 6 times last year. I already know. Obviously, that was a big thing in his life that moved him. And so, but then what I said to that, and we all agreed, I said, if we're not careful, it becomes very introverted, because it's like, well, I've heard it. And I said, yes, you have. But what about the other 10 families that visited today?
Right.
They have no clue. Why do we read the Bible?
Yeah.
Why do you do the Bible confession? He says the same thing. I wrote this 30 years ago, and I don't want to say it by myself, but it's in all cap, never, never. Because it's not just about the people that are here, but we're always bringing new, and they need to know. Otherwise, you know what? They'll feel like I'm part of a club that has all inside jokes and I don't fit.
Yeah.
What does he mean by this Bible convention? Is that a cult? What
Yeah.
do we just do something cultish? So it's navigating who you are. And I think what I mean by that is, as we do life together, as we grow old together, we have to find the meaning and purpose beyond just, I already know this. I already know this story. So I think that word I gave you a few weeks ago, curiosity, right?
Yep.
That keeps me coming back. It keeps me going back to the Bible. It keeps me in prayer. It keeps me loving people. And so you asked me the question, how do I do that? And it's just, I was hurting and somebody loved me and showed me love, not just said, amen, I'll pray for you.
Right.
And this couple, when I was talking with them, made a comment. I thought it was very interesting. And they said, people have asked us how we're doing, and we've told them, hey, we're not doing well. We're hurting financially, whatever. And they said, do you know that most Christians just go, well, I'll be praying for you. I hate to hear that.
And that's it.
And then he said, that day we were sitting together and you said, how are you doing? And he said, I looked at you and said, I love God, but it's bad right now. I have this much money in my bank account. And he said, and I said, yeah, and I remember what I told you. And I said, I told you that I'm not about to let anybody go home with $11 in their bank account on my watch.
Yeah.
And I said, and I gave you something. He said, you were the first person outside of family that knew we were hurting, that said, I'm not just going to pray for you and pat you on the back and say I love you.
Help.
You went to your bank and took out money to help me. And then said, and since then, you've been one of the only few that when we say we're hurting, you take action beyond just, well, brother, I hate that. I'll pray for you. Hope you're better.
It's too easy.
Here's a scripture.
Yeah.
Have you repented of your sins? That's probably what, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting anybody down. We all live our life.
Yeah.
We all have a journey. My journey is just, when somebody did that to me, when I was hurting and they showed up.
Changed your world.
Yeah. And I told Robin, I said, I will never again live on planet Earth that I don't go out of my way to love people. And I told them this yesterday.
Specifically when they're hurting.
And I told them this. I said, and you owe me nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. I have no agenda for you. Come to my church. Don't come to my church. I would tell you the same. If you feel like your wife and all, hey, we did it. We've got it. We're called somewhere else. I'll say, go. You do what God, I'm here for you. I'll still come empty your trash. You live right down the street from me. Whatever you need. And I think if the Christian world could get back to that, I think we could make a huge difference in the way people perceive church, the way we perceive each other, the way we realize we're all just these little pockets of humanity with all of these issues, but we're working toward a bigger picture. So one
of the things that does seem missing in the world is acknowledgement that we're all just people. we're all just humans. We're all just doing life and doing it the best that we possibly can. And I think on top of how the church interacts with people having grace for one another is really lacking.
Here's an absolute in-your-face grace story.
Yeah.
A precious couple in my church. They've been coming. They're new. They came up to me 2.5, 3 months ago, and they said, "Hey, Pastor Mark, we really want to get married, and we want you to do it." And I said, "Oh, God, I would love it. Absolutely. Count me in." Okay, well, we don't know where yet. We don't quite know when yet. We'll let you know. Fast forward, they come a few weeks later and say, "All right, we have the date. It's in April. It's April this," which was middle of the week, and we were going to do it at Callaway Gardens. And I said, "Great. Count me in." I scrolled down to my phone. I have it. I put it in my phone. Got you down. Got the wedding. They've got it secured. We're going to do it. And then guess what happens?
Beautiful venue, by the way.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, about 3 weeks later, my sweet bride says, "Oh, P.S., just need you to know we have something with our daughter that weekend that's scheduled, or that day on a Thursday. We cannot be there. We have to go here. This is where we're going to be." And I said, "Honey, I can't do that." She said, "Well, I've already got it scheduled." It wasn't a child. It was she had a staff retreat scheduled, already booked everything. I said, "I'll just have to drive up late." She said, "Honey, well, we had already booked it." I said, "I know, I just maybe forgot to put it on my calendar. I don't know, whatever," right? I said, "Well, let me call them back. This is the wedding.
Yeah.
Like, let me call the bride back.
For their one day.
Their one day.
Yeah.
And just say, look, something else is on my calendar. I'm so sorry. Is there any way you could move it? And if not, we'll figure this out." This is how kind they were. They said, "Well, let us call them." They called back. They moved their wedding back one day.
Phenomenal.
They're not bitter.
Yeah.
They're not mad. It was just understanding,
Because you're
hey,
just a human.
we're both trying to pull off the best day we can.
Quickly.
Yeah,
Yep.
very quick.
Yep.
And I'm trying to get it in. You know, you owe me nothing. I don't charge for weddings. If you want to do something great, I just love you. And yeah, I think that's it. I think it could have been easy to be bitter.
Yeah.
And they even said, if they can't change it, well, I'm sorry. And I said, well, if you can't, let me see what I can do, right? I'll do my best. Like, we're both trying our best. I think the church has to get back there because we get so disappointed. We call people
it's lacking in the world.
It is. Yeah, well, it's lacking.
So when you talk about, okay, what does it look like to be different? That's a really easy way to be different, right?
I think loving people is the answer.
Yeah.
I think what we're lacking is love. I think the church lacks love. I think what my friend said.
The church lacks authentic love. We have love. I love you. Have a good week.
Yeah, I'll pray for you.
I'll pray for you.
Well, James, I think it's the book of James
So
says
define that love.
if you see your brother in need and you don't do anything,
Yeah.
and you know he has a need, and yet you don't do anything to help them, come on. So
Define love.
action.
Action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see a need. I meet a need. I love prayer. Pray for me. I need it. But sometimes I don't need you to pray for me. Sometimes
need you to do something.
I need you to help.
Yeah.
You were in the hospital with your bride not long ago, right? It's very easy for me to go, "I'm praying for you, buddy. You know, you let me know I'm praying for you."
And I didn't even know what help I needed. You're just like, "Hey, I'll be there." Come to the hospital.
I show up and I just sit in the lobby because they won't let me come back.
Yep.
You come back. I say, "What can I do?" You said, "Dude, just here, my car's over there. Take my car, clean it out." And so I just walked over, cleaned your car out.
Yep.
And then, "Can you take my car home?" Yeah. I got to your house. I may have went way out of the way, but I went to your house and I thought, you know what?
Whole 5 houses down.
His wife is in the hospital.
Yep.
He's stressed out. He's trying to figure it out.
Lots of blood.
I'm just going to clean your house.
Thank you.
And I just cleaned your house. I blessed you. I
Took the trash out.
took the trash
Took care
out.
of my dog.
Took care of your dog.
Yep.
Well, it's a lot better than me laying in bed snoozing going, "I hope Keaton's making it.
for him.
I'll pray for you."
Yeah.
And I believe in prayer.
Yeah.
But I think it's the cop
Prayer
out.
wasn't going to fix my problem.
No, prayer won't fix your problem. I think it's
Yeah.
the cop out.
Yeah.
The cop out is I'm going to pray for you because I'm too busy, but that's how I'm going to show I care for you because I can't squeeze you. These fellas sitting here beside us, their mom texted me and said, "Hey, their dad has a surgery. You think you could come pick them up, take them to lunch?" And I'm looking at my calendar like, "Oh, I got a long day." I was supposed to take my parents to lunch, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Is that today?
No, it was the other day.
Okay.
It was Monday. So I've got my parents I'm supposed to take to lunch. I'd already promised Dad.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come pick you up. And then I've got, they need me to pick them up. So I just texted and said, "Hey, you think we can meet at 11? And they're like, "Sure." So I picked them up at 11. We went to Waffle House and they had lunch. I sat with them. We laughed. We cut up. Dropped them back off. Go get my parents. Drive all the way out to La Bamba, 30 minutes away.
Oh, wow.
Because that's where my dad wanted to go.
Is that his favorite Mexican restaurant? Is La Bamba?
Is La Bamba.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Go figure it. He loves the tinga. And on the way out there, I'm thinking, all right, man, I've handled this. I've done that. I want to love people and serve people.
Do you ever feel strung out?
No, I don't.
Do you mean that?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't.
You never feel like, man, I have got to get things off my schedule.
No, I function best that way.
Okay.
All right. So, but on the way out, I'm in the middle lane of I-20, and I'm behind a car, and I thought, I can't go that way. There's too much traffic, so I'm gonna pop over. So I popped over the right lane. As soon as I did, jump trucks in front of me, popped a rock, busted my windshield. So now I'm like, God, I'm just trying to help people.
Yeah.
Now here comes Pouty Mark.
Yeah.
Poor pitiful me, just helping people, and now I'm going to have to go figure out how to pay for
a windshield
because it's too big to fix. Right? They can't do put the little safe light repair. It's too big of a crack for them to fix.
Yeah.
So now it's like, well, okay, well that's a whole day and $1,000 to fix a windshield, and then today, right? I come in today. Well, I have to drop my car off because this is the day they have it because I have to have it tomorrow because I'm leaving. And then my wife needs to pick me up. Then she drops me off. And then I have to go study. But then this podcast is at 11. But I got a guy coming by at 12:30 that needs to meet with me.
And I never show up at 11.
And then I have to study. And then I have a 5 o'clock counseling appointment, and I have a 5:45 mentoring appointment, and I have a 7:15 teach, and then I have an 8:15 dinner tonight. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I go home and I have loved people well.
And that's it.
That's it.
So then the question to the listener is, what are you doing to love people? And are you willing to inconvenience yourself to love people? Because I think with most people, even myself, when I hear you describe that, I'm like, man, that's really inconvenient.
It is inconvenient.
Like everything you described is so inconvenient. And,
it is.
And I can handle that. A lot of my job is inconvenient, right? If everything went the way it went at work, I'd never be inconvenienced. But most of my job is dealing with inconvenience. Yeah. And so as you describe that, I'm like, oh my gosh, and this is fun?
Yeah, so the reason it's hard to love people is because when you're inconvenienced, you're ticked off.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about the next thing I have to do. So it's just frustrating. It's not fun.
Never feel like you have enough time anywhere you're at.
No. So sitting here with these fellas at Waffle House laughing, we were talking about stuff, and I was enjoying the moment. It was funny. We said some things that were funny, and we dropped them off. And so I think the thing that I try to do is I also am a father, a grandfather, and a husband.
Yep.
And a friend. I have friends.
You do.
And I just quit trying to think everything is some overwhelming, my life is just going to be smooth. I just wake up and go, I want to love people and help people. I'll do that any way I can. At the same time, I have to teach tonight.
And you have a job.
Right.
You have to prepare for.
I have to show up tonight ready. So I was in there.
If you don't, people will know.
And in the middle of that, me sitting there typing and working on my sermon, my phone goes off and it says, hey, if you got any time to talk, can you talk?
Yeah.
I need to talk to you. So I pick up the phone. We talk for 35, 40 minutes. But when I hung up, I didn't hang up with, oh, God, that was a big interruption. I hung up with, I got to help that person. Now, here's why I think the supernatural comes in.
Yeah.
I used my life,
your gifts,
to help another human.
Yep.
Because that's what I love doing. And it's weird. I can't explain it. But it's like the moment I do that, the next thing on my plate, I see favor. Like divine favor. Example, long day yesterday. I got home, tired, meet Robin. I say, you want to go get a bite to eat? She says, yeah. We're riding to get a bite to eat. And I say, hey, let's call Matt and Abby. They're our friends. See if they'll meet us. So we had already pulled up to our restaurant, and they text and say, we'd love to meet you. So we get back in our car. We drive all the way to Carrollton.
I love downtown Carrollton.
Right? It's so cool.
Oh, man.
So we ate with them. We had such a fun time, right?
It's a good atmosphere,
right?
For that. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, when you eat with people, it's a lot longer.
Oh, yeah.
So what would have been 40 minutes for me and Robin, we don't get home till nearly 9:30.
Yep.
So I get home at 9:30, and my bride says, because I know what's coming today. I got this today. I got this is a Wednesday. I got this. I got this. I got this. So I get home. It's about 9:45, and she goes, I got to go take a bath. And I got pollen all over me from the day. And I said, okay, well, I'll do my journal. She goes, well, I want to watch one more of our episode. And I'm like, oh, my God.
We're not starting that till 10, 10:30.
Right, 10 is when we started it.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to watch it with her.
Yeah.
And so she comes in, she sits down, and I watch it. And my brain used to be, I got to do the next thing.
So could you watch it and focus on
That's
it?
what I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
My previous self was, I've got to do the next thing, so that I wasn't living fully in the main thing, which is the thing in front of you.
My biggest struggle right now, I mean, my wife would get so annoyed because we'll sit down to watch a show, and
you need to fix
I haven't
that.
watched the show.
Then fix it, because that was me. Me, as I'm scrolling, her joke is he'll scroll, he'll play his guitar.
I'll do a lot of things.
He's got 1,000 things.
Yeah.
So what I've learned this year, it's not like it happened a long time ago. What I have learned is just love the moment, because the other moment's going to hit you in the forehead. And so stop sitting there and so what was happening in my life is I was in all the other moments and missing the one I was in. And as soon as I would leave the one I was in, I was back in this one still thinking about all the other moments.
Yeah.
And so now it's just like, I just love what I do. And here's what I said. Because I'm learning to live present in the moment, it's like the next moment, there's some kind of weird divine favor. Okay, so 10 o'clock, it's a 47-minute Netflix, right, or so whatever it's on. Yeah, so we're at 11:05 by the time I finish my journal. 11:05. I got a shower now, and so I'm like, okay, I got to get up in the morning. I can study, right? And I'm like, oh, I can't study. My computer's at the church, and I've got to drop my car off.
Yep.
So I got to find a ride. Robin's going to take me. So she drops me off at 9, picks me up. I come here. I get in here. It's 9:35. I sit down. I get my computer. No, it's not going to work because I've been so busy. I left it unplugged from Sunday. So I have to plug it in. It takes 10 minutes for it to catch up. And so then I get the phone call. But I want to tell you how it worked. Last night at 11-something, I went to bed and said, God, I got to teach tomorrow. And I've been loving people. Would you just show me something?
And not just I need to teach a random message. You need to teach in your series too.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a series.
It's not like, okay, I can just go up there and wing something I preached 100 times. It's like
I have to put worksheets together.
This.
Yeah, there's worksheets. There's a fill in the blanks. So it's not just like show up and go, we're going to talk about Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus loves you.
And just sitting there, it's just like.
Just comes.
And I was like, okay, I'll just go home.
So did you write that down then, or was that good enough?
Sometimes I do both.
Yeah.
I'll stop and write it down, and sometimes I'll just go, okay, well, I know my starting point, because that really helps me to know my starting point. And God gave me the starting point, and it was Isaiah 9, and I thought, okay. So I came in this morning, and as soon as I hung up the phone, you can go look at my computer.
Boom, boom, boom.
The very first scripture is Isaiah 9, and I'm like, here we go. And then you walked in the door, and are you ready? I guess I said all that to say it's hard to love people when you're always living in a Google Calendar of what's coming next, and you're always frustrated in the moment you're in. It's very difficult to show the love of Christ, because you may be thinking you're showing me the love of Christ, and I'm looking at you going, you don't even want to be here. You're already somewhere else. You're on your phone. You're answering a phone. Your brain is somewhere else. Your mentality is somewhere else. You're just present physically just to check your calendar. And you miss the children. You miss the wife. You miss the moment.
It feels like life's just running away from you.
Well, life is running away, but it's not, because your calendar, you checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people are living this way of I just get up, I drop the kids off, I go to school, I go to work, I come home, I cook, I do homework, and we're just checking boxes to show that I've been a good mom, I'm a good wife, I'm a good husband, and we oh God, we got the kids in bed. Finally, we finished the homework. Oh, we finished their project. Thank God. Like
that is how life feels.
Yeah, we're all just navigating like
just got to get done.
Just got to get done. And in the moment,
but it's never going to get done.
No. It's what I said to you not long ago. It's like, oh, I got all my girls. They're grown. That 2 of them are married.
Yep.
Yeah, we did it. And then all of a sudden, grandkids, and it's all of a sudden, oh God, we still have to parent our grown kids.
Parenting grown kids is hard. Ask my parents.
They still have questions and struggles. And then, oh my God, now I'm taking care of my mom and dad. I had no clue. I'm literally having to manage their finances for them now. So, yeah. So what are you going to do? Whine, complain? And I would just say, if anybody's listening, you need to stop long enough to go, am I missing the beauty of the moment? Because I'm checking some box, some Google Calendar, some expectation that I have to be at this next place, and I miss life. The weird thing about it is, it's just an opinion, it's sad when most people are looking to some retirement, or if I could just pay off my house, I could finally have more time. And the reality is, no, you won't. Because as soon as your house is paid off and that debt is paid off, you have created a habit of never being present.
Yeah.
You will always be somewhere
You were
else.
always deferred.
You were always deferred.
Yeah.
So you have to train yourself now of how to be present when I'm driving the kids to school, and how to be present while I'm cooking, how to be present when there's 9 other things looming at
Where
me.
I'm living.
And you miss, and I wouldn't say present, I would say, what is the beauty of the moment? And so I believe this to be true in everything we do. In every part of our day, there is a beauty of that moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's a lot there that people should sit and think about, because I'm sitting here in my head and I'm just running through all the things that I lose. Because it often comes to me, specifically around my home, and coming to the reflection of, like, I used to dream for this, and yet I'm trying to figure out how to get to the next thing. Like, how do I get back to this or get to this next thing? And at the same time, I'm often like, wait a minute, I wanted this too at one point. Why is this not good enough now?
So this will show you what I mean in a very practical way.
Yeah.
If you know me, I will park my car in the furthest spot so my doors don't get dinged.
Yep.
Legit. Rob's like, what are you doing? Why?
You protect your car.
I did that. I parked at the very end of Publix to walk to the Mexican restaurant Tuesday night. She said, what'd you park there
Especially
for?
in that parking lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want my doors dinged because I don't mind walking,
Yep.
and it gives me peace, right? So can you imagine, as I'm driving my parents, why? Because my dad wants to tinga. And I'm thinking, Dad, it's lunch. Just go to Longhorn. It's a half mile away.
It's right there.
No, I'm going to drive him 27 miles, and I'm going to turn around 27 miles back. So I'm going to at least be almost an hour on the road, and then I'm going to have to sit there and eat, and then come back. And then on my way to be a good son, a rock cracks my windshield. Now, here's what I mean by present in the moment.
So could you sit through lunch? Was that on your way home or on your way to lunch?
To lunch.
Yeah. So you're sitting at lunch. Are you there? Or are you
That's
thinking
what I'm
about
about
the
to
windshield?
That's what I'm about to. Before, and by before, I mean until I really learned how to navigate this of life.
Because I'd be on my phone.
Googling,
going Safe Flight. How do I get the schedule?
Okay.
Boom, boom.
So my mom says, oh, my God, I hate that you picked this up and it broke your windshield.
She feels terrible.
I said, Mom, don't worry, it's a windshield. I said, here's what Dad taught me, and I gave the story. When I was a teenager, my brother and I crashed my dad's car. And the first thing he said when we called him and said, we crashed your car, he said, are you boys okay? And I said, yes. He said, well, as long as you boys are okay, that's all that matters. Anything money can buy, it's okay. Okay. So I learned that at 16. Okay. So here I'm at 60. I pull up in the parking lot. All right. I call from the parking lot, Safe Flight. Safe Flight repair, Safe Flight. And then I get the press 1.
Oh, the robot.
Press 2. And I'm like, I could feel.
Can't talk to a person.
So
annoying.
I could feel the tension. My parents are getting out of the car. I'm trying to go through and just schedule. Can you come look at it? I could meet them back at the church later. And I felt I'm missing the love of my parents because I'm ticked about this windshield.
I'm too worried about this.
And I'm not even worried about the windshield. I'm ticked that Safe Flight won't answer the phone. Like
that I'm talking to a robot.
Yes.
Yeah.
They'll fix my windshield. I'm now mad at Safe Flight.
Hey, just put a little note in there. When are they going to start using AI? Because we're still using the old robot, and it sucks.
Give me, like, I'm not mad. I'm frustrated that I'm having to wait and press 2 and then or 3 or 5 and go through all the numbers while I watch my 89-year-old mom and dad step up the curb and start going in the door.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, my parents are going to be dead one day, and I'm stressed out about whether Safelite is going to answer. I hung up the phone, didn't even go. I just hung it up. I walked in. I sat at the table. My mom said, "Did you get them?" I said, "Mom, I really don't care. I came to have lunch with y'all. My windshield is a windshield. I'll figure it out. I just want to enjoy lunch." And legit, I just brought all my emotions back and thought, I'm not going to miss an opportunity with my parents because I'm now frustrated about some glass repair, right? So I drop them off. I drive to the church. I sit down. Instead of calling Safelite, I called a collision center that I know works on Teslas. I said, "Look, I cracked my windshield." I said, he said, "Okay, hang on." He said, "Here's what we'll do." He said, "We've got a place in Douglasville." And I said, "Well, that's where I work."
Yep.
And he said, "Well, could you drop it off on Wednesday?" And I'm like, "Yep."
Sure can. Yeah.
I said, "How long do you need it?" Like, I'm thinking a day or two. He goes, "Yeah, probably 3 or 4 hours." I would have missed a beautiful moment with my parents on a phone with Safelite, frustrated. All I would like to say to everybody listening is be very careful how you live, because you're going to let small things in the moment rob you from the moment, or you're not even going to be in the moment because you're on the phone trying to fix everything else in your future, navigating Google Calendars, and you miss the fact that your children needed you versus homework. Your husband or wife needed you versus just telling each other what to do and what you did. And, you know, what is the vibe, the buzzword today? Be present. Okay. I think that's easy. Like, I am, right? I'm here.
Right here.
But mentally, I think if we could mentally become the church, in other words, I'm sick of telling you I'll pray for you. Why don't you do something for me?
I'm right here.
Yeah. So, yes, I'm going to watch this with you, honey, but instead of scrolling my phone, I'm going to be present in the moment. My daughter last night, after a long day, she comes in and she sits and she's kind of, you know, she's not in the series with us, so she's not wanting to pay too much because she's going to catch up. She's scrolling her phone, and I see her do this with her arm. She holds it over her head like this, and she's stretching. I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "Oh, my back just hurts. My neck just hurts." And, okay, here's what I would normally do. "Oh, I hate that." That's what I would normally do. "Oh, I hate it. Hurts. Did you hurt it at work?" Whatever. And I said, "Get up." She said, "Huh?" I said, "Get up. Come here. Sit down in front of me. I'm going to rub your shoulder." She said, "You are?" I said, "Yep, sit down." I said, and then I made a joke. I said, "Isn't that what daddies do?" And she sat down, and I gave her about a 15-minute neck rub and shoulder rub to get the knot out of her neck.
Yeah.
Because I'm learning, why am I just going to sit here and go, "Well, I hope your shoulder feels better"? Like, I have my daughter at home.
And also, you're not going to get these moments back.
No.
You're not going to get.
No.
Oh, yeah, I know. One of the saddest trends, I think, on Instagram is that one day will be the last day you pick up your kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a young toddler at home. So one day, I'm just not going to pick him up anymore.
Yeah.
And hold him.
So if you let the chaos distract you, if you let the calendar distract you, it's going to, I don't think that's real love. I think real love is a risk. Real love is a mess, and real love. But at the end of the day, man, the favor, the peace that comes, the joy, the connection that comes with people is worth it.
I think we should leave it there.
I love it. Hey, I bless you. Can I pray for you?
Please do.
So, Heavenly Father, for my brother, as he flies, as he goes to handle the things of his business, I ask you to bless him, watch over him, put angels around him. I bless his family while he's gone, his business while he's gone. And Lord, for everybody listening, that maybe they're in that mode of life where I just feel like I'm scrambling. I'm just checking boxes to survive, and yet they're missing love, and they're missing the moment, and they're missing being intentional about caring and showing how they care for people. I just pray that we all hear what we need to hear today. We hear it clearly, not only hear it, but we do it. I give you thanks in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thanks, Brian.
Love you, buddy. Yeah, thanks, Brian.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the time that you cut out to do this, and looking forward to many more.
It's an honor.